We're going to start by rolling the feet. Start ball of the foot to heel of the foot. A little with the toes up, a little with the toes in that just neutral, relaxed position. Right? Just pick a foot to start with. If you know one side is a little tighter than the other, go ahead and start with that side. We're just going to roll, spend about 2 minutes on each side, on each foot. Okay. Ball the foot, heel the foot, back and forth, maybe a little side to side. Remember, right in this space. As if it was the palm of your hand, it's the bottom of your foot. All right, don't forget to get into that arch space, turn the toe down. Get into that space all the way back by the heel, and then up right there underneath the ball of the foot. And the middle space, from that middle, right, that middle toe, all the way back to the heel, back and forth. And then that outer edge, out there on that pinky side, right, out here. Looking down, seeing that ball of the foot all the way to the corner, right where that heel is, out in that space. The space we don't pay a lot of attention to out there. Get into that space as well. Morning, Betsy. All right. So now we're going to take the ball and poke it out. So go back to spots that you felt were tight. Hold. Remember, we want to add movement as we pin and stretch. So press and hold. Wiggle the toes. Lift and spread the toes and release. Find a new spot. All right. Wiggle the toes. Think about lifting and spreading them as far apart as you can. And release. Remember your breath here. If it's taking your breath away, it's too much pressure. You want to still maintain that breath. Do one more spot. Good. And then find the ball of your foot. So straight in the center of the ball of your foot. And then do a little in to out. So pinky toe to big toe. Remember, a lot of that movement is going to come from the hip. You can see my hip here moving quite a bit, right? But what I'm going to try to do is quiet my hip and get more movement into that ankle space. So you watch this space here, trying to get as much movement as I can here. I'm not going to totally eliminate that hip movement. I just want more of it to come through the ankle. All right, go ahead and switch feet. Or if you want to, stay on that foot, but start with the rolling back and forth. Ball the foot, heel the foot. Inside arch, outer edge. Toes up, toes relaxed. Digging in or not digging in, whatever feels good to you. Right? Be long, back and forth, or short and quick. Deep or not so deep. I'm paying attention to where you have tightness. And now go back to those spots. Push down, hold, wiggle the toes, lift and spread them. Breathe. And then find a new spot. All right, lift and spread. Wide, wide, wide. Get those toes apart. Feel the muscles in here. Activate and wake up as we do this movement here. Good. Just find a couple more spots, more polka dots. Good. And then put the ball again right in the ball of the foot. And I'll do from this side here. I don't know if you can see side angles, not much better, but I'm going to go big toe, pinky toe, moving that ball from my big toe ball of the foot to my pinky toe ball of the foot. Again, a lot of the movement is going to come from my hip. Trying to quiet it as I go. And more of it to come from that ankle. All right, so just about 30 more seconds here. Rolling the feet. Good. Okay, so today we're going to do a little roll, which we haven't done yet. A little tougher on the floor itself, but if you take that ball and put it into your calf space, so right underneath the calf, and just a little pressure in your hands, trying to keep that chest open. Just roll around and find the tight spots in the calf. Find one. I just want you to, if you find one, hold it, breathe, and just move at the ankle. So get as much movement as you can through the toes and ankle, and release, and then find a new spot. All right. We haven't rolled the calf. It's just it's a little tougher to get to when you just have the floor, but you can always grab a book or a yoga brick, put the ball on there as well. Again, think about this outer edge, right? Up and down that smaller leg bone, that fibula. Right next to, we're not going to roll onto the bones themselves, but right next to that space. Find a tight spot, hold, breathe, and move at the ankle. And see if you can get that ball all the way down towards the ankle, right next to the Achilles, not on the Achilles, but the space right next to it above the ankle. A lot of little connections in there, and just move at that ankle space. Anything that feels good, and then flip over the foot, do the same thing on the inside. Maybe something there, maybe not. Just try it. Okay. The ball can get into these little nooks and crannies. I've been doing a lot of walking, finding some tight spots in here. And then the last thing I want you to do is grab that bigger calf muscle, that outer calf muscle, pull it in. So if I'm here, I'm going to pull it in this way. Then I'm going to put the ball right where my fingertips are. So basically move that bigger calf muscle out of the way so I can get underneath to the soleus. I'm pulling the toes up and pointing the toes. All right, so the soleus is what the Achilles feeds into, or what it becomes, right? The tight fibrous tissue of the Achilles tendon becomes the softer muscle tissue. That's what we're working here in the soleus. You can roll a little side to side, lift up the hips, go up and down, whatever feels good in this space. Just for about 30 more seconds on this side, and then we'll switch. Right, and then shake out that leg a little bit and switch to the other side. Other leg, right? Just move all over the place, and that bigger calf muscle first, rolling back and forth. If you find a tight spot, move with the ankle, wiggle the toes, right? Inside, outside. Keeping the breath. And same thing on this. You get down and into that ankle Achilles space. Think about that outer space right here on the back side of that long leg bone. All right, just about 30 more seconds on this side. Going back and forth, pushing, holding. Good, and then when you're gonna come, done with that, come on up and find your wall space. So I'm gonna turn my camera here. You can see the wall right next to the water fountain here, okay? Bring your ball with you. We're not gonna use it just yet, but have it close by. Okay, so what we're gonna do first, and I'm gonna lower the camera down so you can see my feet. I'm gonna stretch the calves. So we just roll the feet and stretch the calf, or roll the calves and the feet. So now we're gonna stretch both. So look at my feet, all 10 toes pointed forward to the wall itself, right? I'm gonna put my hands on the wall right about shoulder height, maybe a little bit lower, don't go much higher. And I'm gonna concentrate on my back foot. So heel into the floor, right? And I'm gonna take my hips and press them forward. I'm pushing into the wall. So I'm thinking about pushing my heel down and my hips forward. I'm gonna start with my knee straight, and then I can bend it and straighten it just to change the angle a little bit and change that stretch from a high up in the calf space to down low towards the Achilles. But what you want to notice, can you see it? Yeah. My heel is going to stay on the floor. Okay? Not picking the heel up, keeping it on the floor. Focus on the calf right now. We'll do a little bit of the foot as well on this side. So keep straight, press and hold. Bend the knee if you want. And focus on that heel going down towards the floor. Okay? Now we're going to take the heel up off the floor. Toes into the floor, heel up to the ceiling as if you're going to take off running. So press up, hold, and release. Press up, hold, and release. Do that 3 more times. Press up, hold, and release. Press up, hold, and release. And press up, hold, and release. Stretching the bottom of the foot. Now we're going to take it opposite. So tops of the toes into the floor, ankle forward to the wall. Okay, so think about pushing down and kicking forward. Hold and release. Do it 3 more times. Press down, kick forward. Hold and release. Do it 2 more. Press down, kick forward, hold and release. And just 1 more time. Press down, kick forward, hold and release. Go ahead and shake that leg out. All right, give it a good shake. And we've stretched both, we've rolled both sides, but we haven't stretched both, and see if you can kind of feel the difference between the two. Okay, so now your other foot's going in the back. All right, all 10 toes pointed forward, heel to the floor, hips forward, knee straight to start. All right, and then bend the knee, straighten the knee as much as you want. Okay, bending, keeping that heel down. So not only my heel in the floor, I'm actually pressing it down into the floor as well. All right, do a couple more breaths here. Good, and now we're gonna go toes into the floor. So bottom of the toes in the floor, heel up to the ceiling. Hold and release. And go up, hold, and release. And remember, be sure to spread your toes as wide as you can here. Press up, hold, and release. And let's do 1 more. Press up, hold, and release. Tops of the toes into the floor. Tops of the floor, toes down, ankle forward. Press and hold, and release. Press and hold, and release. 2 more. Press down, kick forward, hold, and release. Last one. Press down, kick forward, hold, and release. Good. Go ahead and shake those out a little bit. Okay, and we're gonna go. I'm gonna change my camera angle here so you can see. We're gonna roll just a little bit in the glute and yeah, just a little bit in the glute and hip space. So remember that high hip or high glute space, right? Rim of the pelvis. Ball goes right underneath that space. Imagine you're just kind of tracing that line, right? So that's your bony landmark, that pelvis space. So you're going to go from tailbone out towards the hip joint and back in. So not rolling onto the spine itself, just nestling that ball right next to the spine and then going out. So our little horizontal in and out, keeping the ball again below the ridge of the pelvis. We don't want to go above it, right? Just below that ridge. Working that glute med space, that medium size glute muscle. You have 3, and this is the medium one, right? So working in that space and switching, just switch to between the sides however feels good to you. Normally one side is tighter than the other, so just spend time where you need to, right? And don't be afraid to go into that, right into that hip space, right out here, top of the hip, rim of the pelvis, right, to where that ball and socket joint is, all in that space. Rolling side to side, up and down, whatever feels good. Remember to keep your breath. If you find a tight spot, especially out here in this space, remember we do that pin and stretch where you press the ball into the wall, take the inside arm up, and then reach away from the wall, right? So if you're pinning it in there, so I'm gonna pin a spot here, press into the wall, reach up, and over. So now we're doing that pin and stretch. Making sure to inhale, exhale, keeping the breath. Good, and I'll show a pin and stretch from this angle just so you can see. So I'm gonna pin the ball there into the spot with as much pressure as I'm comfortable with, taking my inside arm up. I want to lengthen, so I want to lengthen out of that space. That's that stretch, right? And then go over. We don't want to just collapse over, so we'll lengthen up and then keep lengthening as you reach away. Good, okay. So whenever you're ready, find the lower glute space, so the glute max, the biggest of your glute muscles. Right, working between each side, and here we want to go from that outer hip, again, finding your bony landmarks, right? That outer hip joint on a diagonal up towards the tailbone is how those glute muscle fibers run, right? So you can do that diagonal or just a horizontal, working side to side. You've got, have a tight spot, hold it, right? And in this space, I encourage you to find that hip joint and just trace the line around it. As you press into the ball, right, you're going to feel that bony landmark in there, and imagine tracing that ball all the way around. Tracing that ball all the way around the ball and socket joint. Okay, and we'll take one more minute here, so make sure you give a little love to both sides, right? Up, down, and around. About 30 more seconds. And keep the breath. Good. Okay, so that's going to finish up our rolling. We're going to go into our stretching. So I'm going to make this so you can see me down on the mat. All right. So you put your ball to the side. If you have a towel, yoga strap, go ahead and put that within arm's reach. There'll be opportunity to use that. So we're going to start down on the floor in a half kneeling position. So one knee down, one knee up. If you have a thin pad, be sure to fold it up, or even use your back towel here for that back knee. Right, we're going to lengthen up. We're at a 90-degree bend in the front, 90-degree Bend in the back. Inhale up, and then exhale. I just want you to press. Here, I'll do this side first. Okay. I want you to press that hip forward. So that means tightening that glute, allowing that hip flexor to lengthen. I want you to inhale up. So think about lifting through the chest. Exhale. You're coming forward into the front hip just a little bit. You can add some length here. Inhale up. Exhale, coming forward. We're going to do 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale, coming forward. Notice my knee does not go past my toe. Adjust if you need to. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Stretching right through the space. Inhale up. And exhale, forward. Good. Now this leg. Heel down, toe up. We hinge from the hip, bringing your hands wherever is comfortable. It can be on the leg, right? It can be down on the floor. Notice my back is flat. I'm not rounded here. I want to think, bringing my chest towards my knee, right? Now, front foot, I'm going to try to pull the toes up to the shin as much as I can. Big inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now we're going to go back to our 90 degree. Okay, so we're back to this. Now we're going to take your hands down inside your front foot. Your back leg, I want that knee a little bit behind the hip where it is now. See how I scooted my knee back? My back toe is tucked. Okay, so you can stay here, tightening the back glute, feeling that hip flexor lengthen just a little bit. Or if you need to, pick up that back knee and hold. And then what we're going to do is just rock. Just a little rock, gentle rock front to back. Either keeping that back knee lifted if you can by squeezing the glute, or just staying down on that knee, still rocking, and what we're targeting is that front hip, the one you can't see right now on me, right? All right, so from rocking forward, we're gonna rock side to side, right? So if I turn this way, you can see I'm here. This is me rocking forward. Now I'm gonna rock side to side. So that front knee is gonna go a little bit outside the width of the hip. Keeping the back knee lifted, or again, it can stay on the floor. That works better for you. Rocking side to side. All right, and then we're going to go into that hamstring lengthening one more time. So heel down, toe up. Right, hinge at the hip. Nice flat back, belly pulled in. And think about taking your hip crease. If somebody grabbed you by the hips and pulled you back. Right, hips back, toes back. Lengthening all the way down that back side. 3 breaths. Good, and switch. Right, so we're here. Again, give yourself a little bit of space there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming forward into that front hip just a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. 3 more breaths. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. I'm stretching the hip flexor on my back knee. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. 1 more. Inhale up. Exhale, forward. Good. Now that front leg. Heel down. Toe up. Pulling that hip crease back. Okay, keeping the back flat. All right, so imagine somebody's pulling you back by the hip. Toes coming up towards the shin. See if you can just sink back a little bit further. And 1 more. Good. Now we're going to go 90-90, hands down in front of your, inside that front foot, back toe tucked. All right. And you can stay here with that knee down, or pick the knee up, rock a little front back. All right. Or here. And rock a little side to side, working on that front hip. And we're going to Yeah, we're gonna shift back one more time, okay? You're gonna hit the heel, pulling the toes back, be up here, be down here, whatever feels good. Got it, okay. So now we're gonna come down to the floor. We're gonna take that 90-90 position that we had in the kneel and take it seated, right? So I have a 90-degree bend in my front knee, also a 90-degree bend in my back knee, and I'm gonna just come forward, okay? I'm gonna come forward over that front shin. Big inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Right? Stretching that high hamstring space into the hip space. Now take your torso, walk it over towards that front knee. Okay, bring your torso over that front knee, a little bit of a diagonal. Your back leg, actively push the inside of your knee into the floor and hold for 2 breaths. Go ahead and come back up, and then we're gonna walk to the foot side, so a little bit on the diagonal. If this doesn't work, find a position that does work. Hold for 3 breaths. And then of those 3, I want you to find your favorite. Okay, so find it, settle in, nice long spine, so we're just not like hanging out over that front leg, right? Or lengthening through the top of the head. Maybe putting a little pressure into that back knee into the floor, activating this back hip. Two more breaths. Good, and come on up. Switch, okay? So 90 degrees in the front, 90 degrees in the back. Starting with that forward fold right over that front shin. Big inhales and exhales. At least 3 breaths before you take it to a new position. On the other side, we started lining up with the thigh of that front leg. And again, a little pressure into that back knee just activates the little hip rotators in that back leg. And then take it, angling your body towards the foot side. And then take it back to your favorite spot. So whether that was on an angle or just straight the middle, I want you to take at least 4 breaths here. Good, and then coming back up. So we're gonna add a little bit of mobility work here. So we have that 90-90 position, okay? So you put your hands behind you. You can even lay all the way back if you want on this. And I'm gonna turn myself just a little bit so you might be able to see a little bit better. So I'm here in that 90-90. All I'm gonna do is take my legs and switch, right? So I'm just rolling from one hip on to the other. One leg's folded in, one leg's folded back, and we just switch. All right. You need some mobility. So as I come here, I'm going to squeeze that glute tight. As I come to this side, squeeze this glute tight. Just getting a little mobility here. You can do this laying all the way back as well. You can feel the difference. If it doesn't feel good in the back or hip, then go ahead and bring your torso back up. Rolling side to side. Good. Okay. So shake out those legs a little bit. Just put your feet down. Let the muscles relax. Shake out the quad. Shake out the calves. Shake around a little bit too. Look good. Opening up. All right. So now we're going to come down to the mat. Have your strap or your towel with you. We're going to come back down. So we did. Then we're going to go into a reclined pigeon. Again, we targeted the inside of the hip, right, groin area with the pigeon. Now we're going to do a little bit more focus on the outer. So grabbing the back of the leg, pulling it towards you. You can take a little pressure on that knee on the inside, just a little pressure, press it away. And if you want, you can add a little rock side to side. I'm going to switch sides here just so you can see as I transition to the next one. All right, so I'm here, rocking side to side. If it feels good, if not, you can just stay in that same place and then take that front foot, pull it towards the shin a little bit, maybe move it in a circle. Okay, now the bottom of this foot, right, it's on the opposite side of my body. I'm going to keep my legs exactly the same. Bring that one foot down, and I'm going to come over here. So I'm still in that forward position, or number 4 position. Okay, this foot's on the floor. Now I'm going to take just 2 fingers, press that knee away from my body. Okay, so we're stretching. You can see here is right here. If I'm going to put my hands in the front pocket of my pants, we're stretching that muscle right there called the TFL. Big inhale, exhale. So as you push the knee away, think about driving the hip down. Okay, so I'm pushing my knee away. That same hip, I'm driving down, stretching that TFL muscle. And if you do a little feeling, we rolled that a little bit, right? It sits right underneath the rim of the pelvis, above the hip joint. Right? So you can kind of feel that as you stretch here. Mine is especially tight today, not sure why, on this side. Big inhale, exhale. Do at least 3 breaths. Good. Coming back to center and switch, right? So we're here in this number 4. Reach through, grab the back of the thigh, pull it towards you. A little pressure on the knee. Rock side to side if that feels comfortable to you. All right, and then I'm going to take the bottom of this foot, right? This foot is now going to come to the floor on this side. Legs in the same position I had them. 2 finger pressure, pushing that knee away. So see, I'm taking that knee away from my body, but I'm pulling this hip, just reaching it back for the mat. It's not going to get there, but I'm going to reach for the mat. And hold. Inhale, exhale. Hold. Good. Grab that top leg, pull it towards you. Now we're going to grab both legs and pull them into your chest here. So as we pull them in tight, you're going to press your tailbone down into the floor. You're going to add a little rock side to side. Okay, and from here we go into happy baby. So whether you're reaching on the outside or the inside, grabbing one leg at a time or 2, or use your towel, right? You can use your towel or your strap to help you grab those feet. You're going to pull your knees towards your chest. Try to get the bottoms of your feet up towards the ceiling. You can rock a little side to side or stay still. Find that happy baby. You can extend one leg out. Extend the other leg out. Good. And then you can extend both legs and let them fall out to the sides. Whatever feels good. Good. And then come back to grab the backs of the knees, tailbone into the floor, shoulders spread open. Rolling the feet right at the ankle. Actively pressing that tailbone down. And then you can just roll to one side, come on up. I encourage you to find child's pose, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's knees wide, feet together, knees together, feet together, coming down, whether it's head on the mat, head on the forearms, whatever feels good. And just focus on the breath. Remember, think about filling from the belly first, then into the ribs and the lungs, and then to exhale, it's a reverse process, lungs, ribs, and belly. And focus on the length of your breaths. Big inhales, hold the top, nice long exhales, emptying everything out. I encourage you to stay in whatever position is comfortable, whether it's child's pose or maybe you're just on your back, knees to chest. And continue with 10 breaths. Okay, focusing on the inhale, filling from the belly into the lungs, expanding the rib cage, filling those lungs up entirely. Hold, and then take a nice long exhale to empty everything out. Encourage you to stay right where you are. Focus on your breathing for another 8 breaths or so. Thank yourself for taking the time to work on your body. And I will see you all on Wednesday. If you have any questions, as always, please just shoot me an email. All right, miss everybody.